Festus couldn't believe his eyes. He felt like his world was crashing down around him. He couldn't understand how his daughters, who were supposed to be the epitome of purity and goodness, could be involved in something so sinful. Once upon a time, in a small community, there lived a man named Pastor Festus. Pastor Festus and his wife Mary were well-respected members of their community. They were known for their unwavering faith and dedication to their church. Festus was the pastor of a small but tight-knit congregation and was known for his strict adherence to the rules and teachings of the Bible. He did not tolerate any kind of immoral behavior from his members and was quick to punish those who strayed from the path of righteousness. Festus and Mary were blessed with twin daughters, Lily and Leah. From a young age, the girls were taught to be devout Christians and were expected to live up to the high standards set by their father. As they grew older, they became known as the preacher's daughters, and people looked up to them as role models for the youths in the church. But little did anyone know, behind their seemingly perfect show, Lily and Leah had a secret. They were living a double life, one that was completely opposite to what their father preached. Lily and Leah were called girls. It all started in high school, when the girls were introduced to the world of partying and rebellion. They were tired of living under their father's strict rules and wanted to experience the freedom that their peers seemed to have. They started skipping classes, sneaking out at night, and partying with boys. It wasn't long before they were introduced to drugs and hooking. At first, it was just a way to rebel against their father and feel like they were in control of their lives. But as time went on, it became a way for them to make easy money and indulge in a lavish lifestyle. They were careful not to let anyone in their community know about their secret life, and they were successful in keeping up their saintly acts in front of their parents. However, things took a turn when the girls came back for their summer holidays. At this time, something was different. Rumors started circulating in the church about the pastor's daughters being involved in all sorts of immoral activities at their school. Some even claimed to have seen them at parties and clubs behaving inappropriately. Festus and Mary were oblivious of these rumors, and even if they had them, they refused to believe that their daughters could be capable of such things. They had always been so well behaved and obedient. How could they possibly be involved in any wrongdoing? Festus decided to ignore the rumors and focus on his duties as a pastor, trusting that his daughters were innocent. But that trust was shattered when there was a news about some university students who have been arrested for hooking in an hotel the previous night. As Festus and Mary watched in horror, they saw their daughters being taken out of the hotel by the police. Festus couldn't believe his eyes. He felt like his world was crashing down around him. He couldn't understand how his daughters, who were supposed to be the epitome of purity and goodness, could be involved in something so sinful. He immediately rushed to the police station, where he was informed that his daughters had been arrested for hooking. The shock and disappointment were too much for Festus to handle. He couldn't understand where he had gone wrong as a father. He had always been strict with his daughters, but he never thought they could turn to such a dark path. He couldn't even bring himself to face his daughters, and he left the police station without saying a word. The news of the preacher's daughters being involved in such a scandal spread like wildfire in the community. Many were shocked and couldn't believe that the girls they had looked up to were capable of such things. Some even blamed Festus for being too strict and driving his daughters to such behavior. Festus was devastated. He couldn't face his congregation, knowing that they would judge him and his family. He felt like a failure as a father and a pastor. He couldn't understand how he had been so blind to his daughter's actions, and how he had let his pride and reputation blind him from seeing the truth. As time passed, Festus and Mary tried to come to terms with what had happened. They were heartbroken and ashamed, but they also realized that they needed to face the truth and take responsibilities for their daughter's actions. They met with their daughters and were shocked to hear the whole truth about their double life. Lily and Leah were remorseful and apologized for their actions. They explained how they had been caught up in the wrong crowd and how their need for rebellion had led them down a dark path. They also confessed that they had been too scared to tell their parents the truth, as they were afraid of disappointing them. Festus and Mary realized that they had been too strict with their daughters and had not given them the freedom to make their own choices. They also realized that they had not been open-minded enough to listen to their daughters and understand their struggles. They asked for forgiveness and vowed to support their daughters in turning their lives around. The whole experience brought the family closer, and Festus and Mary were able to forgive their daughters and help them start a new life. They were given a second chance, and they were determined to make things right and live up to their father's teachings. The incident also opened Festus' eyes to the flaws in his strict ways of parenting. He realized that sometimes being too rigid can push people away. He learned to be more understanding and compassionate, not just as a pastor, but also as a father. The preacher's daughter's scandal was a wake-up call for the whole community. It showed that no one is perfect, and even the most devout and strict families can have secrets and struggles. It also teaches everyone to be more understanding and accepting of others, and not to judge someone based on their appearance and reputation. From that day on, the preacher's daughters were no longer seen as saints, but as humans with flaws and struggles, just like anyone else. And that was the greatest lesson of all.